This is the Horse Radio Network. This is episode 393 of the Dressage Radio Show on the Horse Radio Network, brought to you by Total Saddle Fit, Kentucky Performance Products, and Stud Muffins.
Kathy Robertson of USDF reviews the convention and things coming in 2017. Kim Herslow discusses Reno surgery and recovery and the listener's holiday gift guide. Listen in. This is Reese Koffler-Stanfield from Georgetown, Kentucky.
And this is Philip Parks from... Oh, no, it isn't. He's on vacation. It's Glenn
He's on
McGee.
vacation.
Ocala, Florida. I'll tell you, Philip's down there in, the Galapagos Islands.
I know. I can't wait to hear about his trip. Him and Meredith go on the coolest vacations.
They do.
But
They don't go to ordinary places like the Grand Canyon. They go to all these exotic locations.
They do. They go on really, really cool vacations. So
see, that's what happens when you don't have kids.
Yeah, exactly. It's really cool. It's really cool. But Glenn, you even asked me, you're like, well, you should get a co-host. And I was like, Glenn, I haven't done the show with you. Just you and me. This is how we used to do it back in the day.
Yeah, before Philip interrupted and butted in.
Philip came. But we haven't done a show together in forever. And I said, Glenn, I really don't want to co-host. I just want to hang out with you for the night. So I've been looking forward to it all week. So I'm so happy that I get to hang with you.
It's been a long time. We need our time now. I hear you're going to be coming to Ocala a couple times this year. So you'll get to come stay at the house. And actually, we're expecting Dr. Wendy here anytime. She's staying tonight. So.
I love it. I know. Yeah, you become the Florida, like the Ocala.
Yeah, listeners stop in today to see Scooter, so that was fun.
So cool. Yeah, I love it. Well, I'm going to be visiting a couple times and get to come up and hang out with you and Jen. So I'm looking forward to it. So that's part of the reason we love doing the show, and we're all really a family. So it's a lot of fun. So looking forward to it. I
have a couple things to talk to you about before we get started. We have a couple of great guests coming up, as we said, and we're going to have a gift guide for you at the end that our listeners put together. Yeah, the auditors put this together. But a couple things. A couple announcements. One is the schedule. You guys are going to be on next week, and then the last 2 weeks of the year, we always close the Horse Radio Network, but we have shows for you. I put together for Christmas week, the week before Christmas, a show that's 60 minutes of all of the voicemail entry songs that people sang for Radiothon, that all of our listeners submitted for Radiothon. I had 43 entries that I put together into one show that we're going to play on all the feeds, so you'll get a lot of holiday by the listeners before the week before Christmas. That was a request from the listeners. Can we put them all together so they could hear them all at once? And we have some very talented listeners, let me tell you what.
It's so true. I know. Very talented. That's really cool.
What the hell we're doing here, I don't know. But
I don't know.
But then the week after that, as this is going to be the 8th year, we're doing the all hosts episode. So the week between Christmas and New Year's on all the different feeds for all the different shows, we're going to do the all hosts episode. We're recording that next week. Philip should be back for that.
Yeah. And well, you were talking about canceling it, and all of the hosts were like,
"No,
that's the only we know." Like it's become a holiday tradition for us, and it's really fun. And we very rarely will interact with the other co-hosts. So you get to talk to everybody, but that's the one time we don't get to talk to. We get to kind of sit down and have a holiday party.
And
it's
because
cool.
It is the year of the listener submitted all the questions for this year.
Oh, so. I'm kind of nervous, but that'll be good.
We're going to answer those and have a little fun, and we'll be putting that out. That's the 8th year we're doing that all host episode. Now, the first all host episode was Helena and I. But
we've expanded a little.
Yeah, now there'll be like 8 people on. So that we're looking forward to that. A couple other announcements are Horse Lovers is still having their sales. If you heard about that on the Radiothon, by the way, all 12 hours of the Radiothon are available at horseradionetwork.com. Just click on the banner, and they're all broken up by the hour, so you can listen to Reese and Philip or all the different hours. We had some of the most unbelievable guests in the horse world, including George Morris in the first hour, and he said, I don't know if you got to listen to that, but he He opened up to Jamie and said some things we didn't expect to hear. So you can listen to that. That's all available. Horse Lovers, of course, was one of our title sponsors, and they have a couple of offers still going for Horse Radio Network listeners. If you go to horselovers.com and you buy something over $20, then type in radio in the coupon box, and Mrs. Pastures has a gift with purchase. So Mrs. Pastures agreed to give gifts to the Horse Radio Network listeners, and you'll get that free with your purchase. And then if you do an order over $49, type HRN into the coupon box, and you'll get $5 off your order instantly. So they have those available. Also, if you want to nominate a charity like a barn or a club or a riding school or a rescue or a therapeutic riding center, they are doing what they're calling horse and rider makeovers. They're giving up to $10,000 worth of merchandise to whichever ones win. They've already done the first one, and I think it was a rescue out in Nevada, and they showed up, and they're filming it for the RFD TV show Equestrian Nation. And they showed up, and it was nominated by one of their fans, and they got a $10,000 worth of stuff. So there's still time to nominate your school, the one you like the most, or the rescue you like the most, and they'll be doing a total makeover there. Go to horselovers.com/sweeps and nominate the organization you want to nominate. One other thing, and I know there's a whole lot here, sorry about this, but if you're coming in, we finally have our hotel deal worked out for Road to the Horse and for Rolex. This is the deal. We're a little disappointed in the last hotel we were in. I think the quality kept going down, and Reese knows which one I'm talking about. And it just, I don't know what was going on there. But so we've got a new deal now with a much nicer hotel.
Yeah,
this is
better.
This is the Fairfield Inn and Suites North by Marriott in Lexington. This is the one that's off of 64 and Newtown Pike, right beside the Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, and it's new. This is a really nice hotel. We use this hotel a lot.
It's just been remodeled. They're going to be done with the remodeling by Road to the Horse, so every room is going to be completely redone by Road to the Horse. And we got a couple of good deals. Now, this is a little more expensive than the last hotel, but it is a much nicer hotel.
Way worth it.
Yeah. Okay, and it's $120 a night for Road to the Horse. It's regularly $165 during Road to the Horse. And if you have to call them. It's the Fairfield Inn Suites North in Lexington. It's on Hackney Lane or Road or whatever that is, which you just think of my pony Scooter, who's a Hackney, and you'll know you have the right one. Use the code EarlyBird Road to the Horse special, or just tell them it's Horse Radio Network, and they'll give you the special rate. And then for Rolex, rates are always higher. They're regularly $265. We got them down to $199, but there's only like 10 or 15 rooms, so you have to get in early. Just tell them you have the Early Bird Rolex experience and Horse Radio Network, and they will give you the $199 rate. If you're going in with someone, it's a great way to do it. They're big rooms too, aren't they, Reese? They're pretty big.
I can't necessarily say I've been in the hotel, but a lot of my friends stay there, so they all seem to be happy with it. So
yeah, and it's, as I said, it's going to be completely remodeled. It's a Marriott hotel.
Yeah, so, no, and it's a new. It's not been there more than 5 years.
And you can have they do have breakfasts there, hot breakfasts and things. But if you don't want that, then you could go over to the Cracker Barrel. It's right next door.
Cracker Barrel. Well, very cool.
All right, so that's my announcements as far as things coming up on the Horse Radio Network, and I just want to thank the dressage listeners also for listening all this year and for listening all the years that they have. You guys are a great audience, and I know you love Reese and Philip, and we appreciate that too, or you wouldn't be listening. And I'm always surprised at where people are listening from around the world, and we just appreciate all of you listening. And I want to thank Reese and Philip too for the hours and the time they put in. They don't do this for the money, as we've said before. They do it because they love the sport and they love you guys and they like hanging out with each other. So
it's true. And it's really cool. And it's very true. We really enjoy the program, and you guys have stuck with us now. The early days, we laugh about them, but I'm sure they were a little hard to listen to. So I think we're improving every year, and we do really enjoy it.
Hey, what do we do with next best of? I'll put the first episode you and Philip did together, just for chuckles.
Oh,
They want me to burn that episode, by the way.
Yes, that needs to be deleted quickly. Actually, it would be kind of funny to listen to it. So, but absolutely. Well, right after this commercial break from Kentucky Performance Products, we're going to have Kathy Robertson from USDF on to talk a little bit about what's going on over there.
This Nutrition Minute is brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products, the company that simplifies your search for research-proven nutritional supplements at kppusa.com.
The horse that matters to you matters to Kentucky Performance Products. Managing horses can be challenging. Each horse's personality affects the way he behaves and reacts to the world around him. Horses with certain dispositions can be at higher risk for developing health problems than others. High-strung or excitable horses are easily stressed, but so is the timid, quiet warrior. Stressed horses are more likely to develop digestive upsets that lead to colic, diarrhea, and ulcers. Nalox Advanced was specifically developed to support a digestive tract that is under stress. It sustains proper pH levels, reducing the incidence of ulcers and hindgut imbalances, while simultaneously supporting the healing of damaged tissues. Nalox Advanced supports the complete digestion of starches and sugars and sustains populations of beneficial bacteria. Make life a little easier on your sensitive horse and start him on Nalox Advanced today. To learn more about the ingredients in Nalox Advanced, visit Kentucky Performance Products at kppusa.com.
Well, I am so happy tonight to have Kathy Robertson, USDF Education Department Manager. Kathy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, and I'm glad to be back.
I know. We have you on always this time of year, sometimes in the middle of the year, to give us a rundown on USDF. And I swear it just feels like we did this 2 months ago.
I know. And where has the year gone?
It has gone fast. It's crazy. This year, for some reason, it seems like it's gone really fast. So I can't believe, I'm so happy to have you back. And like I said, it just feels like a couple months ago. But we have lots to talk about in the USDF front. You are literally just back from the convention in St. Louis. Can you tell us a little bit about how that went?
We are. I think we had a really good convention this year. Of course, we were in St. Louis, and we really had some fantastic weather for being in December. And I think that really helped for everyone to enjoy their experience in St. Louis because they could actually get out of the hotel.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of things coming out of convention that our members are going to want to look for. Reese, as you know, we did kind of start off the week with a big strategic plan meeting. I think we're going to be looking at a lot of USDF programs and, answering some of the tough questions about USDF and where we're going to be headed in the future. So we're pretty excited about that strategic planning session and some things that are going to be coming out of that.
And Kathy, I'm sorry, Kathy. When we worked, I was very thankful to be in that committee, and it was quite a good day for that meeting. When will some of the information kind of become public on that? Do we know yet? I don't even know that answer myself.
I don't know that answer. I think the leader of our meeting is going to be putting together all of the information and, of course, sending it back out to George Williams and Stephen Hench for review, who will then, determine the direction that we need to go and inform the parties that need to be informed of what the next step is going to be.
Excellent. Very cool. Great. So what was the next? That was quite a long day, but then you had several more long days. So what was the next day for you?
We had several more long days, but I think some of the big things that came out of the convention, we are getting ready to unveil a new education program. For right now, we're calling it the National Education Initiative. And it's really a program that is going to be reaching out to the grassroots members in GMOs and helping them provide some new and innovative educational programs, clinics, symposiums, really hoping to meet the needs of what those grassroots, far outreached GMOs and members need. What's really exciting about that program is there's some grant funding behind it to help these GMOs fund these educational opportunities. as we go forward. So we're going to be announcing that fully right after the first of the year, but we did start talking about it this week.
Fantastic.
Of course, the budget was approved, and it did include a dues increase that would be effective with the 2018 membership year. That was, of course, a lively discussion.
Yeah.
But, USDF is doing more and more and more. And, we were at a point, I think our treasurer, Stephen Schubert, was looking at the future of USDF and the financial health of the organization, and it was something that he felt needed to happen, and obviously the Board of Governors agreed.
Yes, and I think it's really interesting. Nobody likes a dues increase, but there had been something, I didn't even know this. I learned this in the meeting. I think it's been 7 or 8 years since there's been a dues increase. It's been a long time, so I know it was not.
I believe 2010 was the last dues increase.
Okay.
So,
so almost 7 years.
Go up.
Yeah, exactly. So, I know that was not nobody wants to raise any prices, but that was interesting. I didn't realize that it had been, by the time it goes into play, it'll be 7 years. So it's a long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So.
One of the real exciting things that happened was, of course, this was an Olympic year, and our Olympic team had great success. During our convention, during our banquet and gala, we recognized both the para Olympic team and the bronze medal winning team, and we had 6 of the 9 Olympic athletes present at convention. They had a session on Saturday afternoon and shared their stories, and it was really great to see not only the connection between each individual team, but the 2 teams as a whole, and how emotional it was for the veteran athletes as well as the new athletes. That was, something that really came out of the sessions. But we were really excited to have them all there, and we recognized them as part of our gala, as well as inducting 2 people, one person, one equine into our Hall of Fame, and recognizing a Lifetime Achievement winner and our new Member of Distinction Award.
I love it. And who won those awards? I know Roche was the equine.
Yep, into the Hall of Fame. Roche was inducted as an equine inductee. Lillian Roy was inducted also into the Hall of Fame. She was one of the first, I think, really founders of dressage in this country, dating all the way back into some of the very first dressage competitions that were held in the United States. Sam Barish, our former president, was inducted into received the Lifetime Achievement Award, and Jana Rumbau was the recipient of our first Member of Distinction.
Oh, that's cool. Great. Those are all wonderful people. That's really neat. Mm-hmm. I love it. Very cool. Oh, I know. I was so sad to miss all the Olympic teams. That looked like everyone had a blast. It was really fun to see everyone on Facebook with all their pictures. It was really fun.
Everybody had a great time, and they were really good about, like I said, interacting with our members, and I think everybody had a really good time meeting them.
Yeah, it did. It looked like convention was a success, and I was there first couple days, and then had to come home, but had a great time as well. So, well, cool. Well, I think the convention next year is here in Lexington, which is nice for Kathy and I for sure. We don't have to travel anywhere, but that'll be good. So, and do you have a date yet for that, Kathy? I put you on the spot.
I do not have the date in front of me, but it will be about the same time that week after the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Perfect. Excellent. Well, we have quite a fun trainers conference, FEI trainers conference coming on. Do you want to tell everybody about that?
Yeah, we're very excited about the trainers conference this year. It's a little bit of a historic event. This is going to be the first time that the USEF Judges Forum is going to be held in conjunction with the trainers conference. Our presenters for the conference are going to be Lilo Four and Hans Christian Matheson. Hans Christian is an FEI 5-star judge from Denmark. He is a member of their selection committee and is also the coach of their junior and young rider teams. But what's really unique about him is by profession, he is a veterinarian. So he's going to really add a whole different perspective to what we're able to offer our attendees than what we've been able to offer in the past. Both Hans Christian and Leela will be a part of the Judges Forum. The judges will be doing some classroom work on Sunday. But, during the actual conference on Monday and Tuesday, it's really going to be one of the first times, I think, that we're going to have some true, real interaction between the trainers and the judges, what they're seeing, what they're dealing with, what their challenges are, both inside and out of the arena. And I'm thinking this year we're going to have a lot more direct interaction and communication with the presenters so that we can really get into the heart of what some of the issues are.
That is so cool. What are the dates for that, Kathy?
They are, the USDF Judges Forum is going to take place on the 15th of January, and then the conference is actually on the 16th and the 17th of January. And we'll, of course, be in Loxahatchee at Marianne McPhail's farm. And if they need information on that, they can go to our website, usdf.org, or if they need information on the Judges Forum, they should contact USEF.
Perfect. I love it. That's fantastic. So we have also lots of stuff going on in your department with education. Can you kind of tell us what's coming up and what people should be looking for date-wise to get their information in?
We have a lot of things going on.
Yeah,
of course, the L program is starting a very busy season, and they should visit our website and our event calendar to find out all of the dates and locations of the L program. In the instructor trainer program, something that's exciting for that program is we're repackaging all of our curriculum. It's not changed, but it's going to be presented in a little better format, I think, that's going to make it a little, the educational opportunity better for our participants. And we're just getting ready to roll out those dates. Right now, I'm anticipating we'll be doing a workshop series in Region 4. I'm hoping to do something in Florida in the spring during the season down there. And I've had a discussion that we may be doing something in Virginia.
Good.
And we'll kind of see where it goes from there.
Fantastic. But definitely keep an eye on the website because Kathy's so good at updating what's going on and some of that stuff you need to get in early. So No, that sounds fantastic. Well, Kathy, thank you so much for our USDF sort of update on what's going on. And as always, how can our members find you if they have any more questions?
They can email me at krobertson@usdf.org, or they can go to our website and they can, email directly into any of the programs that they have an interest for.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much, Kathy, and we look forward to next year. Our update. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
This holiday season, get the ultimate stocking stuffer for the horsey folks on your list with Stud Muffins boot socks. Choose from a multitude of bright, fun designs that celebrate the special relationship we have with our horses, and every pair of socks comes packaged with a great big Stud Muffin horse treat, decorated for the season. You can find Stud Muffins treats, socks, advent calendars, and reward boards at your local tack and feed supplier, or you can visit their website, studmuffinshorsetreats.com.
Well, I am so excited tonight to have Pan American gold medalist Kim Herslow on the show. Kim, welcome.
Thank you, Reese. And thank you, Len.
We're always so happy to have you. And I actually saw on Facebook you are a new blog writer for Dressage Today.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's a fun thing for me to kind of express, kind of what's going on and try to let people know kind of what the consistent deal is down here while I'm going through training and working with clients and just different ideas. So I think it'll be fun.
I love it. I love it. Well, we love everybody at dressage today, and we're super excited to hear, to hear what's going on from it's huge from a top rider's perspective and sort of knowing what's going on. I think that is cool for everybody. So I'm looking forward to reading it as well.
Oh, thanks, Reese.
Well, your first kind of entry is what I started reading, and I actually didn't know that all of this happened, but your horse, Rosemarine, Reno, got hurt right after the Pan American Games, and after such an amazing time. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So he actually, it just started out looking like he was getting effusion in his stifle, and there was no explanation for it. He was starting to do all the Grand Prix work. We had done the developing clinic when I first got down to Florida with Robert, and he thought the horse looked great, and he was doing his ones and passage and getting everything nice half step. So, but as I started to ask for more collection, we noticed there was swelling starting to come up more in that stifle, and he would start out feeling a little bit stiffer than he's ever felt. So after doing a lot of x-rays and ultrasounds and trying to see anything, there was really nothing, glaring at us like this is a problem. And the option was to either do an MRI or to do the arthroscopic surgery. And we wound up doing the arthroscopic surgery because either way you have to lay them down. And I just figured there's something there causing that, and I needed to have an answer, and,
Sure.
And so Rick Mitchell, who is my vet, contacted Dr. Richard Nixon up at Cornell and had him fly down here in Palm Beach with his vet, Dr. Edwards, from Rick's clinic up in Connecticut, Fairfield Equine. And they both worked on my horse and were able to, within about 2.5 hours of doing surgery, give me a definitive answer as to what was going on. He wound up having a cyst inside the joint, which they actually expand with CO2. And I got to say, when I saw them do that, I was like, oh my gosh, what are they doing? Like, you can hear this noise, and then you see the leg kind of blow up. It's wild. Anyway,
what?
They were able to get into the joint.
Okay, I'd be out right there. I'd be on the floor. You can just pick me up when it's
my
over.
heart was in my throat, but I couldn't stop watching. And after they realized what it was, and they saw it because it's pretty. They sent me pictures. It's pretty wild, actually, because you could see it's a definitive cyst, and they sliced out like one part of it and just popped it out. And then they put some stem cells in there, which we collected ahead of time, so we were prepared.
Yeah.
And then, it was pretty remarkable because when they came out of surgery and explained to me what they found, Dr. Nixon walked out and he was like, wow, you don't see, I think he's only seen maybe 1 or 2 of those there in that place. And he was pretty amazed and thought that he got it out really clean, and it didn't affect the cruciate ligament at all. And so he felt like he would actually possibly make a recovery and be better than he's ever been.
Wow.
Which was awfully nice to hear a vet say that just comes out of surgery working on your horse. So, it gave me hope that, wow, okay, like he's still got a good chance at, still being a top horse. So that's always a relief, when you have a hope of that when you were planning on that, So, but, at the end of the day, it's really the horses, it's got to be up to them, because if they physically have something that's going to make it really painful to do the work, or something that it doesn't really have an answer, all of a sudden they get like swollen leg and it keeps getting more swollen, like, and hot, you need to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and so, it's been a very long year almost, but at the same time, it went fast. And I've just been really, really careful to keep him in a very slow and progressive bringing back, which included just, the first like month almost was stall rest with like barely any movement, like 3 weeks of that. And then it was 5 minutes twice a day. And then every week you'd build up another 5 minutes. And this was hand walking all down here because I don't have a walker here. So when I got home, it was like perfect timing because he was up to hand walking 45 minutes twice a day. And so I could put him on my walker, and he's really good on that. So he'd march around on that, and it made him like use himself more, Yep. So it was good that timing worked out to be then. And then by mid-June, I was able to start tack walking. And then the tack walking became, kind of a little thing in between the walker. And I would build up 5 minutes each week until we were up to 45 minutes. So many weeks went by. And then we got approval to trot. And then that was another 5 minute increment a week. So it just went in this process. And he stayed really mentally good where I could actually take him out and walk him around the back field. So he's got like a tiny bit of a hill that he can walk up and, So little by little, we started to build up, and I'd be able to do a little more trotting. And so he's only been cantering for maybe 6 weeks before I left to come down here. So, a few months really. And it's pretty interesting because I think he's finally getting the strength of muscling around the joint that he can carry his weight. He's a big guy. He's over 17 hands. He's almost 17.1, and he's big and long. So he lost all his back muscles and everything because I had to let him down for the surgery, and then, try to just keep him really quiet and still. I mean, it's wild to go, in the Pan Ams, he was like this beefcake.
Yes.
And then he went from that to, for me looking at him, I was like, oh gosh, he lost all his muscles. So it's kind of like hitting the restart button a little bit,
Sure.
And watching the slow build up, like now you can see his abs are getting a little tighter, and his back lower muscles are starting to, build up and give him more of a rise, so he's getting the stamina now that he can do more like collection work. And it's an interesting process to bring him back completely like that. So, from basically doing Grand Prix work to
nothing,
letting him down, and then going into surgery, and then very, very, very slow getting back. But you know what? It's having a good, vet that comes and checks on us regularly. Like Rick would come monthly to just make sure we're looking good, that he's feeling okay, like everything's progressing the way it needs to. I think it's all teamwork and keeping everybody in the loop. Knowing your horse, because I spend a lot of time like feeling him and feeling his body to see how he feels, with just hands and massaging him and stuff. And it's nice to see that he's feeling better and stronger and in his whole overall body. So it's great.
Awesome.
I'm like awesome. Relieved, and I'm grateful. Yes. And I'm going to still be patient because I know if he's ready to show come, February or something, maybe we will, but it's really up to him. And either way, I'm just planning on training mostly anyway. So
what's the advice? I mean, it's really cool to hear the process because you were very organized about the process, and it sounds like you really worked with your vets, and is that the kind, I mean, what other tips would you give to people? I mean, horses get hurt, and we all have to sort of be physical, PTs basically. What are some ideas too? I mean, these are all really good if you have a horse coming back from an injury.
Well, I think, a horse that goes from being like, especially a horse that's showing a lot and you're spending a lot of time with this horse where they're used to having a lot of, hands-on and people around them. And, you want to keep them in a mentally good place, because I think that's a big part of them feeling good and getting through it too. It's again, like I use massagers on him. He gets, it's called a thumper, and it really gets deep in the muscles. It's actually a human massage you can get on Amazon for like a couple $100, but they work really well on the horses, and he loves it. And then I do hands-on stuff too, just to see how he feels. But he has a magnetic blanket as well. So I try to keep his muscles, because he's kind of a big guy. When he's fit up at Pan Am's, they had a scale in the barn. So we weighed him. He was 1,550 pounds. So he's a big guy to move around.
Yeah, for sure.
So it takes a long time to get all the muscle back. And of course, when you expand a joint and you stretch out the ligaments and everything, you have to give that time for everything to also fit back up around it and to contract back, and you're still going to have if anybody who's had knee surgery or anything like that, you can probably relate to that.
Yep, I
so
can.
It's just going to take a while.
I can.
So your leg feels all the muscle in around that area tighten, gets fitter again, and your body gets in a better shape. And it's all about the whole package. So, and if your horse is really, wants to be a little too anxious and you have to keep them quiet, I did use some ACE tabs sometimes when I knew things were going to be a little too exciting outside, like the wind or whatever. And I want him to stay he can't be bouncing around in the stall,
Yep.
And in the beginning, he probably didn't need it as much as I thought he needed it, but I wanted to make sure that he was going to be safe for himself,
Yeah.
And I think you just have to know the horses, know their personalities, and know how to manage them and study them in that way, so you can figure out the right management, because each horse is like an individual, just like we are. So, they all have their sides of them that you need to know how to manage.
Yeah. No, I think that's great advice. And like you said, if you've ever had surgery, it takes a while. You think, I'll be fine. Yeah, you may be up and walking, but there's only so much you can do, and then you can't do anymore, and you got to sit down again. So
and you get sore. And you're slow. It's a slow build up of some days you start to feel better, and then you push it a little too far, and then you're like, oh crap, why did I do that? And then your knee hurts, and you're like,
true.
Okay,
I think your knee blows up. You're like, oh gosh, you got to go back, sit back, and ice it, and So I think that that's great advice for bringing any horse back, no matter if it's a Pan Am gold medalist. It's really hard, and you gotta kind of put the horse first, and I think that's a perfect example. So Kim, thank you so much for coming on. We are going to be huge fans of your blog posts when they come up, and we always love having you on the show. So how can our listeners find you online?
So I have a website at uppercreekfarm.com. And my email and everything is attached to that. So, yeah.
Fantastic. And you're in Florida till when?
I'm in Wellington until April 1st. And then I head back up to New Jersey to my farm up there.
Awesome. Well, you're missing the snow because it's supposed to be coming. So
I hear. Yes, I hear. Oh, well.
Oh, goodness.
You guys stay warm up there.
Thanks, Kim, and we'll see you soon.
Come and visit. Yeah, come get warm down here in Florida. All right. You guys take care.
Well, now, before we get into our auditor picks for the gift guide, we're doing a kind of a listener gift guide coming up, Reese and I are. I picked the things that they picked that were unusual that I had never seen before. Rather than just standard stuff, buy boots and, things like that. These are unusual gifts, so I wanted to pick those. But you got a new girth. Total Saddle Fit came out with a new girth, I think designed for people specifically that live in Ocala, Florida.
Anyone in a hot climate.
Yeah. So what is it? It's a shoulder relief girth just like the others, but it's synthetic.
That's right. It's synthetic. And so it's the same shape and the same, it's exactly the same design that Justin does for the total saddle fit, shoulder relief leather girth. And then he came up with, he's so cool because Justin keeps kind of coming up with new ideas. And so this is a synthetic one, I think made just for me when I happen to mention on the show that sometimes I just hose off my girth.
Your leather girth.
No. Yeah, my leather girth. I think Justin just about died. And I'm like super, super tack, like Nazi lady. But yeah, sometimes they're just gross and I just hose them off. And Justin's like, I didn't hear that. And we're moving on. So this girth is made just for me, Glenn, because you can just hose it off and it's exactly the same. The price point's a little bit lower under the leather girth. And Justin, as always lets Phil and I test the products because that's super important to us that, we know what we're telling everybody about. As always, whatever Justin sends us, I really have faith that it's a really, really good product. And he did it again. So it's on his website, totalsaddlefit.com. And it may be really good for your horse. I use all his girths. That's the only thing we use now. So I think you'll really like it. And if you do have a sensitive horse, it's got lots of different options for you. And this is just another great one. So good job, Justin. As always, Justin at Total Saddle Fit. And for our tip of the week, Glenn and I decided to go not dressage this week. I tried to get Glenn to do a throughness tip, everybody, but he wasn't excited about it.
I said throughness? What's
no. That. We're not doing it. So I was trying to get him to geek out in dressage theory, but we decided we would do. And so I said, okay, well, what about, we always every year come up with a gift guide. And I think we came up, so Glenn said, well, Reese, let's ask the auditors, which they have a very active and really cool Facebook page. So the auditors were great. They came up with some of these really, really fantastic things. So,
well, let's make the first one. If you would like to, if somebody you love would like to get you a gift that truly will pay off all year, have them go over to dressageradio.com and click on the auditor banner and sign you up as an auditor.
Yep.
For as little as $1 a month, you can become an auditor and be part of the most active Facebook page I've ever seen.
Me too. It's unbelievable.
They have 100 conversations going on in there. I can't keep track. And it's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. It's a very positive environment. It is, there is never any politics, never anything negative. They support each other. And it's a private page, so people are asking advice on things they would never talk about on the normal Facebook page. It is really cool how they all support each other and stick up for each other, and
it's really cool.
It's worth it. So that's the first gift idea.
Yeah, I love it. And that's a great stocking stuffer. But Jill wrote in, Sarah Lynn Richards' artwork is gorgeous. Her watercolors are a little pricey, but I purchased the stemless wine glasses at Dressage at Devon. That's just what I'm saying. Love it. And it's a nice way to collect a piece of her art without breaking the bank. And it's sararichards.com.
And I went over and checked out the stemless glasses.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
They're only $15 each with her artwork on them. The hand-painted stemmed wine glasses are $28 each. So, you can get these things for pretty inexpensive, and they're hand-painted. They're cool
beautiful.
Gift. Yeah, they're really
neat.
That's
really cool.
I really like it. Is her art impressionist? Is that what you would call it?
Oh, Glenn, I didn't really go to art class. I usually took a nap during that time because I'm not incredibly artistic. Every once in a while, I'll get a craft. I'll decide, like, I'm going to become very crafty today. And Travis walks in, and he's like, oh no. Yeah, that'll happen. I'll get a craft bone in my body, and then it's like, oh gosh, yeah.
Well, now I would say that her art is. I wouldn't say I went into the original art where she actually has a framed paintings that she's done, and she has a PRE horse here with roses in a Piaffe. Perfect for dressage, right?
Look at you!
And it's $595, which for a good artist and framed is not bad, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So that's the one and there's also a Piaffe with roses that's $215. So yeah, she has some great art here. It's very well done, and it would be a terrific one of a kind gift.
Love it.
Good. And that's at sararichards.com.
And the next one is from Jessica, a personalized / custom brow bands, currently on my Christmas wish list. And she found some at sexybeast.collars.com/horse gear. Yeah. So Sexy Beast
just
dog collars.
Sexy Beast dog collars. Now, after I saw this one, I wasted a lot of time here.
Did you?
I didn't know. You would think it was only for dogs. By the way, this is a great dual gift suggestion because they have horse gear and dog stuff. But the collars are beautiful for the dog. So if you're looking for a new collar for your dog, she has everything in all different sizes. And then the horse gear, some beautiful headbands, just beautiful. Oh, they're beautiful.
Love it.
Yeah, and
that's
yeah, really, really nice.
Scooter needs one.
And, the prices are $50, and this is homemade, stuff. This isn't made in China.
Yeah.
So, like the braided leather brow band, she has them in different colors, and she can custom make in your braid colors. So, she'll custom make these for you for $50.
That's really cool.
So, yeah, you can get what you want. And I'm thinking Scooter, because his is yellow and blue, and she has yellow and blue, so I'm thinking,
Oh,
and she makes it in the size you want it to. You just tell her the size, and she'll make it. It's very cool. Really cool. I never heard of this. Did you? Sexy Beast dog?
No. A lot of these I hadn't heard of, actually.
So there's a good idea right there. And we'll put these all, by the way, I'll put the links to all of these in the show notes as well at dressageradio.com.
Love it. So Katie, she actually asked me, can Reese Koffler Stanfield recommend some good books that would make good gifts? So, actually, I'm reading a book called The Perfect Horse right now, and it is not dressage, but it's about World War II. It's a great book, and Glenn, I can't think of the author right now, but
I know exactly who it. Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, you'll Google it while I talk about it.
We've had her on the show a couple times. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, it's a very, very good book, and it's not dressage. Who is
Elizabeth Letts. She also wrote a book about Snowman. So $80 Champion.
That is a very good book. I can't put it down. Like I only have 50 pages left. And last night, it was 12:30 and I was like, I can do it. And I was like, no, I got to save it for another night.
This is
that's a good one.
really good book for dressage people too, because it's about the Lipizzaner stallions during World War II that were rescued.
In Germany. And it's really, it's a wonderful book. So I would recommend that one if you're looking for sort of a mainstream read.
It's not written as a documentary. This is written as a novel, and it is excellent.
Yeah, it is very, very good. It's very good. And so, but if you're looking for straight up theory books, my favorite books, I love Dressage and Harmony by Walter Zettel. That's a great book, and it really goes through sort of the pyramid of training, and it's a good one to read. And then I like all the books by Jane Savoy. She talks a lot about some sports psychology. Some of them are a little older now, but they're very, very helpful and good. And then my last one I love is 101 Dressage Exercises by Jacques Vallée, and they're great. That's a great book, and it's great winter projects because she has obviously 101 of them. Some are for advanced horses, some are for green horses, but I literally go through and I mark that when I'm out of town and tell my students, when I'm in Florida, the ones that are up here, I'm like, look at this book and do those exercises, and that will be good for you. So those are my recommendations.
Good. Terrific.
Yeah.
And then Alex sent in the next one. I love Larissa jewelry. Anything on their website would be great. They also have ornaments that are nice trainer gifts.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Larissa jewelry?
No. I hadn't. And it's beautiful.
Yeah, this is nice stuff. Now, this is higher end. I will say that.
Yeah.
Because a little bit higher end than all of our other suggestions. But, the pendants and things like that. She has pendants, necklaces, accessories, charms, belts, keychains. Let me see. But this is not, lower end. She does have some lower end, like the keychains are $15. But if you're getting into the pendants and the earrings and the brooches and things, you're in the hundreds.
I spent a little more.
Yeah.
But very, very nice. Very pretty. And everybody loves horsey jewelry.
And if you're looking for a very high-end stock pin, for dressage, they have them. She has them there.
Yeah. Very pretty.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
Stock pins. Do people still wear stock pins?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
Like
it's
so
very
old
true.
school, doesn't it? Stock pins now.
No, I still wear. Yeah. No, we still wear them.
Okay.
Yep. And I have a couple really special ones that I wear, and one that matches my outfit, and one was for my grandma, and like I have. It sort of depends on what I'm feeling like that day. So.
Well, I'm not going to be buying you this $1,000 one. I'll have you know that.
Jeez, Glenn.
Sorry.
It's okay. Send it to Travis. No, I'm just kidding. That's not happening either.
You know, that'd be the first one you'd lose, the $1,000 one, right?
Oh yeah, yes. I would more rather a gift certificate to horse lovers, honestly. We all know. Let's be real. Horse girls are horse girls.
Well,
so.
while we're on jewelry, let's just jump ahead to Ruth's.
Yes. Jane Hart.
Yeah, you know her jewelry.
Yeah, she is beautiful jewelry, always. And she's a great sponsor of the sport of dressage. So I love her pieces, and she does a lovely job. So
and hers are a little bit more affordable. Yeah, and she has all of the jewelry, too, for Secretariat, Barbaro. She has all the agreements there. So she actually produces American Pharoah, Ravel. Jewelry with Ravel and Man of War,
yes.
So she has all those contracts that she can do that jewelry.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Jane's great.
I love it.
And she's a super nice lady, too.
She is really nice. Yeah, she's really nice. So we like to support her for sure. So Lisa said anything with breed logo on it, saddle pads, coolers, baseball hats, clothing, or your horse's name. It's the little something extra that makes a practical gift special. USDF, USEF, they have clothing, hats, etc. Really nice brushes that you normally won't splurge on. Etsy has millions of options of charm necklaces, and you can do your names, your initial of your horse in your life, past, present, or significant dates. Something that will mean something to the participant. So I love that. I love those ideas. And it's true. Like, I always, the USDF, USDF gear. I always get one at the finals. I'm sort of one of those. I'm like, I want another something from the finals. So that's always fun. And then always, obviously, USA Equestrian is always cool to wear. So that's really cool.
Etsy's a place I forget about. Until I forgot about Etsy because I don't shop that much, for that kind of stuff. But it's great for Christmas gifts because it's not something they'll see at the stores.
That's right.
Yeah.
Actually, I wish I would have forgotten about Etsy. I got something today from Etsy. Well, I'm not going to lie, 2 things.
Well, let me put in a plug for Allison, one of our auditors. Allison is the one, and I know you saw the picture of it, the one that made the mug that we're giving away on Horses in the Morning. It's a little mug that has the HRN on it, and it has a horse coming out of cocoa. It's a mug full of cocoa. Has horse coming out of cocoa looking like he drank too much. And then another horse trying to get into the cocoa. Isn't it the cutest thing ever?
It's so cute. It really is. I'm like, that is so cute.
Well, we're giving that away for really bad ads this month on Horses in the Morning, and she did that, and she makes all this kind of stuff. She has an Etsy store. Just search for it, Chuck and Stan. Just search for Chuck and Stan on Etsy, and she has all this cute stuff she made. When we mentioned her on the Horses in the Morning show last week, because she made this for us, and she put in the extra effort to get our attention, right?
Yes.
And she had 20 orders in an hour. So,
that's so cool.
Yeah, and she's a super nice. She has had a tough year. She's a listener and an auditor. She's very special. Any listener of ours is very special. And she just had a tough year, and she was so thankful to all the listeners for supporting her. So if you need a one-of-a-kind gift, head to Chuck and Stan. They have some really cute stuff on Etsy.
Awesome. Yeah, no, Etsy's really cool. It's a really cool place. Like, I cannot stay on Etsy long. I'm not going to lie.
Well, then you're not going to want to hear about the other suggestion that Allison actually had. She referred us to another Etsy store, and it's Tastefully Tacky. Tastefully, Tacke. And if you check that out, Reese, you're going to see a whole bunch of really cute stuff. They do custom embroidery on saddle pads, and this isn't just the kind you would get at like Smart Pack. These are really nice. She does some different stuff. She has dog collars and bows. If you want bows, she has some beautiful bows.
Really?
But the saddle pad, custom saddle pads are really nice. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, that's cool. That's very cool. I love it. So, Glenn, I have one.
Okay.
Myself that I have been holding that I got for myself, actually. I got it at a charity. It was called Wine, Women, and Shoes. It was for little ones with cancer that I went to. And it's called Pillow Talks, PILLEAUX.TALK.com. And it's really cool. You can put your farm logo on a pillow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, and actually I got jockey silks with the Maple Crest Farm logo on them. So if you have your logo for the farm, and, obviously in Kentucky, jockey silks are a big thing, but you wouldn't have to. You could just put your regular logo on them or, anything. She'll put anything on a pillow, but great quality pillows.
How do you spell it again?
PILLEAUXTALK.com. Pillowtalk.com.
Good, because I put in Pillow Talk the regular way, and it comes up with some things you don't really want to.
Yes, no, PILLEAUX.
These would be cool to get the Horse Radio Network logo put on.
Yes, they would be so cool for the Horse Radio Network to put on. They're very reasonably priced, and a lot of times she does stuff for charities as well. So, yeah, it's really quite cool. And that was my sort of unique gift. I actually gave it to my mom for her birthday. I got her some because she started Maple Crest Farm. So I got her some for her birthday. So cool birthday Christmas gift. So
that's really neat. I have to put that one on the list here so we don't miss it. I'll put a link to that in the show notes too, because it's spelled differently and you'll probably forget in 2 minutes. So
yeah, exactly. So that was mine, and that's not on the show notes because I have kept the flyer in my office for weeks, which made me remember to do the cool Christmas segment. So next year, everybody, please let us know. We'll do the same call out again but if anybody makes things or knows some really cool equestrian gifts, we love to put them on the show, and we always try to do it during December so that all our horsey friends can find some cool gifts. So I love it.
Sounds good. Well, Reese, this has been fun hanging out with you today.
It's been awesome, Glenn. And as always, everybody remember, Philip and I and Glenn love emails and Facebook shout outs. Please get them to us for next year, and we'll really.
I love the good ones. Send the bad ones to Reese@horseradionetwork.com.
I know, right? Exactly. So you can find our show notes and links to today's guests on our website, dressageradio.com. Like us on Facebook, just search Dressage Radio Show. Follow us on Twitter @Horse Radio. My website is maplecrestfarmky.com, and my email is reese@horseradionetwork.com.
And, of course, don't forget, you can catch us on the morning show, Horses in the Morning, the Stable Scoop show. I do the driving show with Dr. Wendy. So a lot of different things you can catch us at, and we hope that you continue to listen into next year. We'll be here. Not going anywhere.
We love it. We'll be here. And if you need Philip, it's philip@horseradionetwork.com. So everybody, keep your heels down and your shoulders back, and we'll talk to you next week.